Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. For anyone who's new here, my name is Sophie Waddington and my life is fucking falling apart this week, but the very least that we're going to do is get a piece of fucking content out of it. So if you want to cheer me up, we normally talk about manifestation and mindset. Today we're just going to have a reminder of our power, which is mostly for me, but I'm going to let you share it, guys. So don't forget to come and subscribe to my channel, please. It will cheer me up dramatically. So I wanted to talk to you today about how we will all at some point get dragged into the 3D circumstances. Even though we are the creator of them, they feel so fucking real and so fixed that we often use them as our truth. We use them as proof of who we are. And when we do that, we unintentionally create more of the things that we don't want, which is precisely what I've been doing this week. So for those of you who have been here a while, I have some bad news for you guys. Unfortunately, the first of my catastrophes this week is that Gloria, the cat, is dead. That sounded a bit harsh saying it like that, but I don't know how else to tell you. She was not very well. She was not enjoying her life anymore, and I had to make the very, very difficult decision to have her put to sleep this week. So that was just the first heartbreak of the week. There was more. And this is the one that is particularly relevant for what we're talking about when it comes to conscious creation, manifestation, is, I know this will come as a surprise to a lot of you because I've been single for 5 years, guys, but I have been defrosting my very cold heart that has been on ice for 5 years. And I started going on a few dates with this guy and I really fucking liked him. And to cut a long story short, he's fucked me off in a very nice way. He's not done anything wrong. But yeah, I was a bit fucking gutted, guys. And it made me realise that unfortunately, I did already know this, but it reminded me that even when the shit is hitting the fan, it is still our creation, because the things that were reflected back to me in that circumstance were very much the things that I've been going over and ruminating in my head over the last few days. And there they are in black and white, presented to me in the 3D. So yeah, I just thought it was important for us to talk about the fact that you are always in power. You are always the one who is creating something, but very often we are doing it unintentionally. We're looking outside of us, seeing some shitty circumstance in the 3D, and then we are making that mean something, and we're then creating an outcome that we really didn't want. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We have been taught since being little kids that what we see outside of us in the 3D world around us is truth. That is the fact, that is fixed, it's how it is. We've also often been told that it's either like fate, it's some kind of god, or it's the luck of the draw, like it's just random. And actually, that's not true, guys. That's not true, as you know, because you're on a conscious creation channel. We are always the person who is creating our reality. Every single thing outside of us is just something that was already been baked in the mind. It's already been created, and it's now just out here for you to see, for you to enjoy, for you to fucking hate, depending on what it is that you've created. But I really want you to remember that everything that you see outside of yourself is not fixed. There is nothing outside of you that is in your circumstances, that is in your life now, any one particular circumstance around love, around relationships, around family, around health, around anything, that is final, unless you decide it's final. Except maybe your dead cat. Can't bring that back to life. But what I'm saying is, Just because you've experienced something over and over and over again doesn't mean that that is what you're supposed to have, that you're, stuck with. In any moment, you can completely change things. You can turn everything around. Every single circumstance that seems shitty in your life right now can be completely different in an instant, because all there is the present moment. Nothing else exists. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. All we ever have is this present moment, and that is where all of your power is, in the present moment. And it's all about who you are choosing to identify with. So if you have had a week like mine, for example, where things have been going to shit in the 3D, and you've been a little bit dragged in, maybe you've been feeling like you need to fix something, you need to change something, you need to force and manipulate something in your 3D world in order to get it to be the way that you want it to. I just want to remind you to come back out of that and return to who you actually are, which is source energy. You are the source of everything. It's all coming from inside, and it's being projected out into your 3D world so that you can, again, enjoy it, play in it, do whatever you want in it. So nothing is fixed. Nothing is beyond your control, except your dead cat. Okay? But in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to remember that you are the source of your reality, and to be able to harness that power and create something that you really desire, better outcomes in every area of your life, you have to take responsibility for the fact that you create everything, that it's all you. Because as soon as you say it's somebody else's fault, it's the universe's fault, it's this person's fault, it's just the way it is for me, it's just the cards I've been dealt, whatever it is that you put your circumstances on, that you give the blame to, that is the same thing that you are giving your power away to, because you cannot have power without responsibility. If you want the power, you have to accept the responsibility, even for the shit. And every time I post something about this, especially if I post it on like TikTok or somewhere like that, I always get loads of backlash about this, because people will say, oh, well, what about this that happened to me? You're victim blaming, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're saying that it's somebody's fault, that it's the victim's fault. Well, if that's the case, then that means that you identify as a victim. If you believe that something is somebody else's fault, even though you keep experiencing the same pattern over and over again, you're the victim, and you're identifying as a victim. There's fuck all I can do about that, babe. You've got to decide, I'm not being a victim. I'm being the person who is the god of my reality. I'm being the person who is in charge of the things that I create in my life. And in order to do that, you have to accept that it is all fucking you, babe. Okay? But I hope that you find that empowering as well, that you find that really empowering to know that if you created it, then you can uncreate it. You can create something different. If you created some shit, you can create some good. Because if it's all you, then there's nobody else to try and convince them to fix it. There's nothing outside of you that you have to beg for it to come right. You get to just decide this is how it's going to be. And you get to show up as that identity and embody that identity and be that person who already has the thing that you desire, rather than just constantly fucking chasing after it in the 3D, because that is exhausting, babe. Exhausting. So many of us spend the vast majority of our life trying to either figure out things, solve problems all the time, in which case we're acknowledging that there's a problem in the first place, when you can just say, no, that problem doesn't exist. No, like, it's not. And I know that sounds very much like, oh, you're just burying your head in the sand. It's not about that at all. It's about saying, I don't identify as the person who is suffering through this problem. It's sorted, it's already done, it's already resolved. But we spend so much of our energy either trying to resolve a problem that we've created, or worrying about things going badly, which is exactly what I fucking did this week. And it's very out of character for me, but obviously I'm in new territory again by defrosting the old frozen heart. So if you are spending any of your energy worrying about something, please tell me one single time in your life where something good has come from worrying. And I'm not talking about worrying and then taking an action, like a logical action towards resolving something. I'm talking about sitting there, going over and over in your head and worrying about an outcome. Because I can promise you, you have never, ever improved a situation by doing that. You have never resolved a circumstance by doing that. You have only given it more power and allowed it to, gather momentum and actually manifest into the 3D as the shit that you didn't want. And this is an analogy that I've used loads of times, is if you have got two fires that are burning and one of them you really like and you want that fire to burn, and one of the fires is like a real problem, maybe it's like burning down your house, your energy, your awareness, your attention is like logs, and you get to decide where you throw the logs. Are you going to throw it on that fire or that fire? And quite often what we'll do is we'll throw logs at the fire, which is equivalent to trying to fix things in the 3D, trying to manipulate the circumstances, trying to change things, trying to force things in the 3D. That's the equivalent of throwing logs at a fire to try and put it out, to try and beat it down. It's not going to work, babe, because you're throwing logs on the fucking fire, okay? It's not going to work. If you want to change that fire, to put that fire out, for that fire to go away, you have got to starve it of your attention by throwing the logs on the fire where things are going well, where everything works out exactly how you want it to, where there is no worry. You've got to put all of that worrying attention into thinking how well things could go. And I always say, like, to my clients, if you are an overthinker, if you are a worrier, you make a fantastic manifester because we're all natural manifestors. That's the nature of reality. But if you are able to overthink the worst scenario, then you are absolutely able to overthink the best scenario. And when you do that, you're throwing all of your logs on the right fire. So please take this video as your reminder that you are so powerful. You are so fucking powerful, and you have got so much proof of that, because all of the assumptions that you hold, all of the things that you have decided are true for you, are true in your 3D. They are. And if they're not, it's because you don't actually feel like they're true. So you might be saying, oh yeah, I'm in a really good relationship, I'm like really loved and I'm really happy and settled, but you're actually thinking, but what if this, but what if that, but what if they don't like me, but what if they're too busy, but what if that, what if that. That's not dominantly assuming that you are in the happy relationship, or that you, I don't know, have the health or the wealth or whatever it is that you desire. You are not dominantly in that place if it is not reflecting in your 3D, because your 3D is just a printer. You're selecting the file to print, the 3D is just saying, there you go, it's just spitting it out for you to see in the 3D. It holds no power over you whatsoever. So I really want you to just remind yourself that if there's something going on in your life right now, if there is a circumstance that you don't like, if it's something that's been going on forever, if you've only ever experienced that circumstance, it has no power over you, babe. You are the source energy. You are the person who gets to decide in this present moment and persist and stay there, and everything else in your 3D will change. It has no choice, because that is the nature of reality creation. It is how we create the world that we live in, and it's the reason that we all experience the world so differently, because it's just our decision of how we choose to perceive the world. So I really, really hope that helps someone. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to come and subscribe to this channel if you found any value in this video. I love you so much, and I will see you for a more positive episode next time. See you later.